Amid a strong police presence, Salwan Momika, a 37-year-old Iraqi individual who sought refuge in Sweden a few years ago, engaged in an act where he stomped on the Qur'an and subsequently ignited several pages in front of Stockholm's largest mosque. Under the provision of free speech safeguards, the police in the Swedish capital had granted him permission for the protest. However, they subsequently initiated an investigation into the individual for agitation. This incident took place during the observance of the Eid al-Adha holiday by Muslims worldwide, coinciding with the conclusion of the annual Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. This incident occurred after the accused Salwan Momika posted a video on his social media account where he is seen announcing his plans for the heinous act and also inviting those who will join him and support him while he performs this act in broad daylight in full public view under police protection. His act got acceptance, support, and no objection, even as he performed it on an auspicious day, that too in front of a well-known mosque under the label of freedom of expression. On Thursday, Middle East countries including Iraq, Iran, and Saudi Arabia expressed their condemnation and strong disapproval of the Quran burning incident in Sweden, emphasizing that such actions have the potential to inflame the sentiments of Muslims globally. Earlier this year, a Danish-Swedish far-right extremist, Rasmus Paludan, caused an uproar in Turkey and other Islamic countries by burning a translated copy of the Qur'an near the Turkish embassy in Stockholm in January. This act was fully supported and upheld by the government of Sweden under the term freedom of expression. What is freedom of expression? Is it hurting the sentiments of other religious communities just because one doesn't approve of their way of life? If freedom of expression is justified to such an extent, then why are criminals locked inside prison cells at all? They should all be left free, because even they can label their crimes as a form of freedom of expression. The reality is that everything is being labeled as an act of freedom of expression, as long as it is performed against the Muslim community. If the Muslim acts in a similar manner or acts in retaliation of this or other such incidents, they would be labeled extremists, and these acts will fall under radical Islam acts. This is the reality of the world that we live in now. This is the actual hypocrisy of the media, which portrays Islam in a negative manner, no matter the situation. When we see such bizarre acts getting accepted and legalized, then what else can we expect? We cannot expect any form of apology, at least when the intention was purely to hurt the sentiments of the Muslims. Praise be to Allah, the Qur'an was bestowed upon us as fire and destruction-proof guidance. Although the physical pages of the Mus'haf may be set on fire, the essence of the Qur'an remains impervious to destruction. By the will of Allah, other copies of the Mus'haf will continue to exist, and we are fortunate to have countless Huffaz who have memorized its verses. Perhaps those who engage in this act are fulfilling Allah's decree by appropriately removing the guidance of Allah from those who do not deserve it, namely themselves, as their hearts, hearing, and sights are already sealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us from such ignorant people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us against the oppressors. Ameen.